Trump gets extremely defensive when asked about the Epstein files. He goes into straight panic mode and starts blaming the Democrats, tries to put distractions in front of everybody else's face to get people to worry about the economy, but nobody's buying it. He even goes as far as to say, don't talk about it too much. I don't want it to take away from what I've done for this country. Let's take a look at what he meant by that.
Here's what I want. We have nothing to do with Epstein, the Democrats do. All of his friends were Democrats. You look at this Reid Hoffman, you look at Larry Summers, Bill Clinton, they went to his island all the time, and many others, they're all Democrats. All I want for people to recognize a great job that I've done on pricing, on affordability, because we brought prices way down, but they're going way lower, on energy, on ending 8 wars, and another one coming pretty soon, I believe. We've done a great job. And I hate to see that deflect from the great job we've done. So I'm all for it. You know, we've already given 50,000 pages. You do know that. Unfortunately, like with the Kennedy situation, with the Martin Luther King situation, not to put Jeffrey Epstein in the same category, but no matter what we give, it's never enough. You know, with Kennedy, we gave everything and it wasn't enough. With Martin Luther King, we gave everything and it's never enough. We've already given, I believe the number is 50,000 pages, 50,000 pages. And it's just a Russia hoax as it pertains to the Republicans. Now, I believe that many of the people some of the people that we mentioned are being looked at very seriously for their relationship to Jeffrey Epstein. But they were with him all the time. I wasn't at all. And we'll see what happens. What I just don't want Epstein to do is detract from the great success of the Republican Party, including the fact that the Democrats are totally blamed for the shutdown. You know, they cost our country hundreds of billions of dollars with that, and a lot of inconvenience. So I'm for I don't. They can do whatever they want. We'll give them everything. Sure, I would. Let the Senate look at it. Let anybody look at it. But don't talk about it too much, because honestly, I don't want to take it away from us. It's really a Democrat problem. The Democrats were Epstein's friends, all of them. And it's a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax. And I don't want to take it away from really the greatness of what the Republican Party has accomplished over the last period of time.
What is so interesting about what he said is that the Democrats weren't Epstein's friends. However, Trump, you were in the majority of the Epstein files, and in Epstein's emails, you were referenced in the majority of those emails. He called you his best friend. On top of that, do you care so little for Epstein victims that you want people to just stop talking about it because of your accomplishments you've made, which are all made up, by the way? I have never seen Trump so terrified in my life. Take a look at this face. Have you ever seen Trump make this face? Let's take a look at some of these emails. From Epstein, recall I've told you, I've met some very bad people, none as bad as Trump, not one decent cell in his body, so yes, dangerous. This is coming from Epstein, calling Trump dangerous, calling Trump a bad person, his best friend. He also claimed that other people were with him all the time and he was never with him. But this email says otherwise. From Epstein, I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Victim spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. Police chief, etc. I'm 75% there. And to not have spent any time with them when we have video footage of this happening. Let's also not forget about Jeffrey Epstein in his deposition referring to Trump as his closest friend. So when Trump's name appears 1,600 times in 20,000 leaked emails, Epstein himself said that you were his closest friend. By this video, we see that every accusation from Trump is a confession. He spent time with Epstein. He was his closest friend. Trump was on that island. Everything he accuses others of doing with Epstein is exactly what Trump did with Epstein. What type of president doesn't want to prosecute people in the Epstein files? It's a president that is also in the Epstein files and is protecting his best interests, himself and his billionaire friends that were also engaging in these activities. When Epstein says in his emails that he's the only one that can take you down, and all these women, all these victims have stories of seeing you with Epstein all the time. One woman even stated that she was called to Epstein's office late at night and suddenly Trump came down the hallway, and she said he seemed all-knowing, like he knew what was about to happen. And she said she was terrified and she made a face. Let's go to that video.
And Epstein said, I need you to come up to the offices. And I was like, it's 9 o'clock at night, and I guess I'll just run up there. And he said, okay. So I get there and I'm all sweaty in running shorts. Donald Trump walks in And he was really strange. And he stood, hovering and smirking, like all knowing, like omniscient grin, like a Cheshire grin. So I made I don't know, it was just an instinct. I made the ugliest face I could think of. And Epstein thought it was adorable. He walked out and he goes, "Oh, no, Maria, no, she's not here for you." Just like that. He emphasized, she's not here for you. He goes, "Come with me." And he escorts Trump. So here's Epstein's part. He escorts Trump into this other room. And Trump utters under his breath, he mutters, "Oh, I thought she was 16. And I thought that was just really weird. Like, it was beyond locker room talk.
Let's also not forget about Trump's weird birthday letter. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, yes, we do come to think of it. Donald, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Donald, a pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. With a weird signature at the bottom and a drawing of a girl's body. Now this gets crazier. Recall that in this email from Epstein to Ghislaine, Epstein said victim spent hours at my house with him. Many people are saying the victim was Virginia. Virginia G sued Prince Andrew for abusing her as a minor. Ghislaine told Virginia when Prince Andrew came over, "Do to him what you do for Epstein." When she was old enough, she sued Prince Andrew and they had to settle out of court for a very large sum of money. This is Trump and Prince Andrew. Trump claimed he had no idea who Prince Andrew was, insinuating that they didn't know each other. Let's go to that clip.
I don't know Prince Andrew, but it's a tough story. It's a very tough story. I don't know him.
Odd, because there's many pictures of Trump with Prince Andrew, the same way Trump claimed he didn't know Epstein, and then we saw videos of them partying together and hundreds of photos. Now, what's odd about this picture and this meetup with Trump and Prince Andrew after he claimed he didn't know him? This photo is from the 2000s. This one was in 2019, right before Jeffrey Epstein got arrested and then ultimately unalived a couple months later. Now, when Prince Andrew got sued, he claimed he didn't know who Virginia G was. That is the girl he abused. Yet we see right here in this photo, Prince Andrew with Virginia G and Ghislaine Maxwell. And Virginia G told her side of the story too with what happened in this incident. In this video, she says that Ghislaine Maxwell said that you're going to meet a prince today. And that when he came over, Ghislaine told her, "Do to him what you did for Epstein." Now here's where this all crumbles. Epstein ended up getting unalived. Virginia G ended up getting unalived. They both took their own lives. Now, do you remember Katie Johnson, the girl who sued Trump for what she did to him on Epstein's island, in her words, and that he was doing it for years? Well, guess what? Katie Johnson ended up dropping her lawsuit after getting multiple threats from billionaires and death threats, and no one ever saw her again, and her lawyer put out a statement. This is the scary part. This is back in 2016. Bear in mind that Epstein was not dead until 2019. So all the evidence of Epstein's island didn't even come out yet. And Katie Johnson's lawyer says she completely disappeared. I haven't heard from her. I don't even know if she's still alive. On top of this, you mean to tell me that all these people implicated in the Epstein files that link back to Trump all disappeared? Because if the redacted victim's name really is Virginia G, we have a serious problem. Because what do you mean Katie Johnson is nowhere to be seen? Epstein, who's linked back to Trump, was unalive, and Virginia G, who's linked back to Trump, is unalive? What a very suspicious sequence of events. Mind you, Trump is the same person that said he's on his way to hell, and there's no way he can get to heaven. I wonder what's been weighing on his conscience. And here is one of the 28 plus victims that Trump has sexually abused. And they all have similar stories, that he felt comfortable enough to grope them. And we're going to get back to that in a second, because mind you, when he became president in 2016, he was caught in an audio recording saying, "I can't help myself. I have to grope women. I have to kiss them." Let's take a look at this clip.
Yes, I dated Jeffrey Epstein very briefly in 1983. And his best friend at that time was Donald Trump. They had a very close friendship. And one day I was on a walk with Jeffrey, and he said, "Let's stop in and see Donald in his office at Trump Tower." And I said, "Okay." And we walked in there, and Trump proceeded to grope me right outside of his office door while Jeffrey just stood there and watched. His hands were all over my body, and it was very odd because the two of them were talking about, something not about the groping. They were having a conversation, I don't remember what it was about, and smiling, continuing on with their conversation as if the groping wasn't happening, which caused me to sort of freeze up and be utterly confused about what was going on. After the incident, and it was, very brief, just a couple of minutes, we took the elevator, down, and Jeffrey's energy was very dark and sort of stormy and angry, and we got it on the street, and he just ranted at me and asked me, he kept saying, "Why did you let him do that? Why did you let him do that?" And I remember being utterly confused, like, yeah, why did I? What just happened? And as I came into my body, know, I got the sense that the whole thing was coordinated.
The amount of women that have told this exact same story, and Trump is going to take stage and act like it's not true. Wait a minute. These are the women that Trump wants people to stop talking about? The same 40% of women from the age of 15 or 44 that want to leave the United States because they don't feel safe here? They don't feel secure here? Trump, you have failed women back then and you're failing them right now. His policies don't work and he doesn't care to make them work, because the same way he's protecting his billionaire friends in the Epstein files is the same way he's protecting their self-interest. This has nothing to do with making America great again. This has to do with making billionaires richer. And if it's not happening to him, he simply just doesn't care. But isn't that the whole idea of MAGA? They never care about what's happening to other people until it happens to them. And it's a very sad way to live. And remember when another woman, E. Jean Carroll, sued Trump and he had to pay her for sexually abusing her, he ended up having a deposition. And they brought up his sentiment saying he likes to women, he likes to kiss them regardless of their consent, because when you're a star, they just let you. Let's take a look at that clip.
I'm very famous in this video. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet, just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything. That's what you said, correct?
Well, historically, that's true with stars.
It's true with stars that they can grab women by the pussy?
Well, that's what it's. If you look over the last million years, I guess that's been largely true. Not always, but largely true. Unfortunately or fortunately.
And you consider yourself to be a star?
I think you can say that, yeah.
He seems very confident about that. But I guess this is the persona you hold when you've been abusing women for years and you scare them out of their lawsuits and no one's done anything about it. Well, guess what, Trump? It's 2025 and we're doing something about it today. His time has come and the remainder of MAGA is filled with PDFs and PDF protectors. Don't believe me? Listen to Kash Patel try to humanize Epstein the same way Megyn Kelly did 2 days ago, saying 15 is barely legal and not that bad. They are normalizing PDF behavior and they're trying to normalize Trump. The lengths these PDF protectors will go to because they are cowards and they are implicated in this more than we know. Let's see what Kash Patel had to say about Epstein never trafficking victims.
If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked. There's no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
For the information that we have
in the files.
I don't even know how this guy got the position of FBI director. He's a clown. Oh wait, yes, we do know how we got it. By being severely unqualified, but loyal to Trump. These are the types of people running our country right now, and it's why they're going to lose midterms hard. Bear in mind that this is also the guy that ordered the redacting of Trump's name in the Epstein files. Which, if Trump is as innocent as he says he was, why the hell would you need to black out his name? These people are done, because we will not sit back and tolerate this. Not in our country. And it's not just Trump. Remember, Elon Musk seems to know a whole lot about this, weirdly. I wonder if he's a PDF protector that uses blackmail too. But on to other things. He said that Steve Bannon is in the Epstein files. Steve Bannon is an extreme MAGA loyalist and was his White House chief strategist in 2017. Epstein texts Steve Bannon, "Now you can understand why Trump wakes up in the middle of the night sweating when he hears you and I are friends." June 28th, 2019, 1 week before he was arrested and exactly 1 month before he was killed, because he was killed August 10th. And it gets even crazier than that, because Steve Bannon takes stage just 10 days ago saying some people in this room are going to prison, including myself. It is not just Trump. It is everybody that works for him. It is his friends. It is his loyalists. It is even MAGA. Let's take a look at this clip.
You right now, as God is my witness, if we lose the midterms and we lose 2028, some in this room are going to prison, myself included. They're not going to stop. They're getting more and more and more radical. And we have to counter that. And what do we have to counter it with? We have to counter it with more action, more intense action, more urgency. We're burning daylight. If you look across every aspect of this, we have to codify what President Trump has done by executive order, right? We have to codify it. And people say, well, they're just going to be messing bills going to pay Senate. We got to put aside these structural barriers and get on with it. President Trump today gave to the Senate when they came over for breakfast. Even Lindsey Graham, some of the guys he liked, and some of these institutions, I understand this is a very tough decision to make. And you're going to see some people in the conservative movement that not in a million years, because I talked to him today, quite frankly, I had Hawley on the show this morning, Josh Hawley, and he's talking about it, and I'm trying to play the institution. Well, they called me up this afternoon and said, let's go through the 10 reasons we need to do it, and these are heavy hitters on what I would call the constitutional, limited government constitutionalists in our movement. And they're about to come out over the next couple of days and make this argument because it said, look, we have to understand that if we don't take this to the maximum, a maximalist strategy now with a sense of urgency, and in doing this, seize the institutions. If we don't do that now, we're going to lose this chance forever because you're never going to have another Trump.
I wonder what he means by seize the institutions. And yes, Trump, the master manipulator who was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein, the master manipulator. So it's no wonder they were best friends. Also, to say to people live in a room publicly that we're all going to prison shows just how bad these files are. And they know how bad midterms is going to be for them. They're terrified. They're already seceding. They're already saying Democrats are going to destroy them if they take over the Senate. Why? Because they will finally be held accountable for their actions. Because in the MAGA movement, as long as you are serving the billionaire, you will not be held accountable. Look at the January 6 rioters that all got pardoned, 1,500 people. Many going back to jail for being a PDF, drunk driving, killing people, more violence. They already had prior arrests. They were already felons. Charlie Kirk got shot by one of them. They started making videos and posting it online saying they're ready to clean house and that people are going to get what's coming to them, threatening war, telling Trump, give us permission and we're going to go door to door and clean house. They're going to solve mass shootings with more mass shootings. These people are not held accountable and they do not think. But today's the day and every day forward that they will be held accountable. We will not sit by and let these traitors destroy our country. Everything about them is fake. They're fake Christians. They're fake patriotic Americans. They're fake, not racist. And it's crazy how everybody implicated in these Epstein files all link back to Trump and currently work for him. And all the victims are dying also link back to Trump. It's just weird. And also bear in mind that Trump's spiritual advisor just got convicted a couple months ago for being involved with a 12-year-old. It is all of his employees, his friends, loyalists, everybody. MAGA is compromised, and they are not like us. The fact of the matter is, we do not buy it. We don't buy the lies, Trump. And every time he speaks, he exposes himself a little bit more. Him, Steve Bannon, all of them. And in their attempt to redact Trump's name out of the Epstein list, they can't redact everything, and there will be slip-ups. And there should be methods to be able to unredact these items as well. So no matter what, at the end of the day, Trump will be exposed once the Epstein list comes out, because what they haven't released has to be detrimental. And the only ones that remain in MAGA are PDFs and PDF protectors. Like this guy right here, who once he found out what Donald Trump did, said, what's so bad about that? Let's take a look at that clip.
Let's say you're right. I'll grant that you're right, and he's on the list and all the things, and you're right about all the accusations you've been making. Why is it wrong that he did those things?
Are you asking me why it's wrong to rape children?
Yeah, I need you to tell me why it is wrong in your eyes
To rape children.
to do that. Yes. Do you need me to repeat it? Can you not hear me? Do you have too many in your ears, or what's up?
Everybody left in MAGA is just like this guy. He is one of many people trying to normalize and humanize PDF behavior. They are accepting of it because they are that. And with Republicans turning on Trump, MAGA turning on Trump, and the entire world seeing him for what he is, not only is Donald Trump shaking in his boots, but this is going to be the first time in his life where he was held accountable and has to face the consequences of his actions. And he will be impeached. He said it, his loyalists have said it. They're going to lose the midterms if Trump even makes it that far. And with that being said, release the Epstein files, Donald Trump. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hope you have a great day today, and I'll see you next time.